Mako's OpenGL to metal transition direct exchanges. I don't understand shit. With this patch, when introducing a streamer mode, this will place account names with the champion name from the loading screen all the way through the end of the game from the view of the player that has this enabled. Well, that doesn't do anything. This edition tend to have reduced incidents, things like stream strike or other forms of harassment or disruption. But this doesn't happen. I can't hide my name from my teammates. What the hell is that? Okay. Let's take a look. Attack speed cap 2.5 to 3.0. I don't see where this will be like greatly benefit. Like I don't know who will benefit from this. I think the biggest thing is just like champions with like really big steroids, you know. Because keep in mind, a lot of champions already can break the sound barrier. Like they can already break the cap with things built into their kit. Like someone mentioned Jinx, right? I think that Jinx already can look. Additionally, she's allowed to exceed the attack speed cap and gains a stack of getting style for the same duration. She already exceeds it. Like, bro, she already exceeds it. So there's a lot of champions already that would benefit from this that already exceed it. While Living Vengeance bonus is active, Varos attack speed cap is increased to 3. Kog'Maw is the only one that really stands out, right? Like, Kog'Maw is the only one that really stands out because building full attack speed could make sense with an ability like this, right? Full on hit. So, there's that. Reminds me of that time when Kog'Maw was 5 attack speed. I don't know if you guys know about that one. Let me show you guys real quick. Kog'Maw with 5 AS. Look at this. This is Machine Gun Kog'Maw, which was in the game for some time, which made no sense, by the way. I remember losing games against this on stage, and it drove me insane. Okay. Let's take a look at the rest of the patch notes. Champion bounties. Elite required to begin positive bounty suppression has been decreased by 60%. Elite required to fully remove bounties from losing team decreased by 33%. Once objective bounty spawns, champion bounty is now fully suppressed for the losing team. Okay. Okay, so losing teams just don't get less bounties. Okay. Below 50% health, a Chemtech Soul, 11 increased damage and damage reduction to 13 increased damage reduction. Okay, this is giving Chemtech Soul a percentage or 2 in the damage department. Cloud Soul nerfed. I've been saying Cloud Soul is the most OP source of GG energy. 20% to 50%. That's enough, which is coincidentally a buff to the other souls, but 5% is a big nerf. And we believe that Void Grabs are currently too valuable, so we're nerfing the buff damage along with ensuring they correctly update their health and attack damage respawn. What? Void Grubs too valuable? I have the take that I think that grubs are not that valuable. The game is way too busy. The game is way too busy and the game is way too fast. I think in a world where the game is super busy, I think that Void Grubs are not super good. I think this is, of course, also very skewed by just, Void Grubs, you know. Atakan. So gold earned whenever you get a takedown, 40G to 25G. Withdrawal now fully heals you as opposed to only full healing your base health. False life withdrawal status duration, 5.5 seconds to 15 seconds. So that's a big nerf to Atakan. I think this makes it a lot more in line. 15 seconds is practically what it takes for you to recall. So it is like a recall in a sense. So Atakan definitely nerfed. Like it isn't as game changing. I think the big one still is if you're gonna get a fight in connection with Nasher and you can kind of leverage this into Nash, I do think this can be very helpful, you know. Kasubea. Q AP scaling down, Miasma AP scaling down. I guess this is just feat of strength business. It already got nerfed previous patch. Whiplash, E damage increase. I want to see the electrocute changes before I judge this, but 5 base damage, and then in the end E is super high on max rank. Basic damage, empowered damage. Okay, but that's a solid buff. I need to see electrocute changes. Galio health down. Galio's Giga OP. I think I was surprised that he doesn't get more nerfed. Kane is buffed again. I think it's just they want to push assassins. This happened in the last patch too. Jack's health grows increased, and then damage increase. Interesting. I do think that Jax was probably like B tier, post other top laners. Like this is a buff that is going to not matter so much, but we will see a lot of Jax gameplay at like now in Fearless, you know, when we see game 3s, 4, 5s. I do think Jax will show up after Rumble, Jace, and Cassandra's out. Let's take a look at Jace. To the skies, bonus AD, bonus AD. So they nerfed the base damage, increased bonus AD by a hefty amount, 50%. Shock Blast, bonus AD, also 15% up. So in terms of where the nerf lands, it does look like AD Jace will somewhat be net. Like, it would just be the linear. That's how it looks like. And then you have W Lightning Field, damage decreased. Okay. 5 damage and lower ranks is a pretty big deal considering how much this takes. And then empowered basic attack damage, you have Mercury Hammer also nerfed in the base department. Okay, so they just want people to move away from tank Jace and play the AD variant, which makes sense, I guess, because it is quite unhealthy that this guy is just buying tank items. I did think they're going to nerf tank items before they nerf Jace specifically. Misfortune, armor down, armor growth down. I think MF is fucking trash as a champ in competitive play. I think this is one of the most fake champions in the game, honestly. Like Misfortune, if we just look at high, like top leagues, okay? I think this champion is very, very bad, because if you look at who actually wins with this champion, it's usually when a better team plays a worse team. So you have 100 Thieves versus this guy's Toast. You have Elk playing against LNG, who is really, really bad, right? You have Ruler playing MF against Fear X. You have Gala playing against NIP, which is a solid win. That's a solid win, okay? Fair play, that's a solid win, right? But then you have Top Esports versus Team World Elite, right? Like, Misfortune is not strong. It's in a really, really bad place. I think meta-wise, it's really, really bad. But then again, I don't know what's happening in solo queue. Maybe it's something that's a part of the solo queue. Nasus buff. So Nasus was something that was played last year, right? Nasus could be interesting in situations where maybe you pick it into Jace. Jace could be an angle. Pick it into Jace. Lifesteal up. The main thing that could be concerned for Nasus still, as long as lane swaps are in the game, I think it's a little bit dangerous to play this champion, because I think Nasus needs to play very, very like long lane phases to be useful in my opinion. But this is not the champion that is super strong on first crops, second crops. Like, the pacing of the game is just rough for top laners right now because of lane swaps existing. So I don't know how much you're going to see, Susan. All right, Quinn. Heightened senses buffed. Interesting. W is something that you max in a lot of cases. I imagine the lethality builds are weaker, crit builds are weaker. So Quinn, there's no Renekton gameplay happening, so this is just a bounce buff. Rakan is getting buffed. Rakan is getting buffed. 2 seconds down on W is a big buff. That's a pretty fucking massive buff. In early ranks, having 2 second flat down on WCD is a really big deal. I'm saying it's a big deal because Rakan is already in a great place. Rakan is in a fantastic place. Let's take a look at Rel. Rel, HP down, armor growth down. Rel is definitely a champion. I thought they were going to target her damage. I think Rel damage is way too high for support. I thought that's going to be the angle. Wild Rush, E into 5 seconds. I don't see when you would want to play this, honestly. Samira in competitive play. I think Samira will always be in a place where she's never going to be played in pro, because if she's played in pro, she's too OP for solo queue. Armor growth down, stun duration down by half a second. I think this puts Skarner in line where it shouldn't be permaban anymore. Should be played, but not permaban. I do think that Skarner can be answered with like Ivan and Brand and shit like this. So I do think there is an option for people to leave Skarner open. I think this is a pretty decent enough nerf to not make him permaban anymore. Should be played though. I think this is a champion that still should show up in every best of 3, best of 5 that you play in Fearless. All right, Ravenous Flock, max health per soul fragment, 3 HP up, and then never move with a 10% AP upscaling. Okay, this is just a fine buff. All right, I think Swain will be picked where he should be picked, and that's it. Against, for example, Galio or something. All right, Teemo E damage decrease. Damn, that's a big ass fucking nerf to Teemo. Fucking 5 damage on rank 1. That's pretty damn massive. Health up 20, basic attack damage, scaling per soul up. This doesn't excite me at all. I think Thresh is just kind of outdated as a champion. Viego nerfed by 3 AD. That's pretty big. I think this is a champion that just thrives with any level of power and needs to snowball. Getting 3 AD less on a champion that fucking, you know, auto so many times in his combos because of his passive. 3 AD down is rough. I don't think this should affect his clear. Should still be super fast because he's super fast in the first place. But Viego is not something we see too much in pro play either way. Duke Wukong, 2 seconds and then attack speed down. Ooh, big nerf to Wukong. He basically doesn't have the buff anymore. This is a big nerf to Wukong. Vi untouched. Vi just casually untouched. Vi is smiling. You know, no Maokai changes, no Sejuani changes, no Vi changes. Jungle is going to remain the same until the end of time, brothers. All right, Blood Song. Duration, 4 seconds. 8% to 5%. Melee just nerfed. All right. So you have Leona, Poppy, Pantheon. These champions have been using it. AP ratio down. All right. I think it makes sense to nerf these considering they are buffing base damages, right? Electrocute having 20 damage higher is really big. Probably the biggest change of the patch. Really big. Dark Harvest, 10 flat damage, 11 per soul. This is really big. This is really big buffs, guys. Really big buffs. I'm scared for solo queue. Good luck out there. Halo Blades, melee attack speed to 140. I don't see what melee champions would use this besides Baus on Cho'Gath. But I think these 2 changes stand out the biggest. Atakan, Electrocute, and Dark Harvest is probably the biggest changes on this patch. So there's that, you know, there's that. Not that big of a patch, if I'm going to be honest. It's like Skarner, Galio nerfs are relevant, I think, but everything else is kind of whatever. Really whatever. Wukong, well, to summarize again, Wukong, Jace, and Skarner nerfs, I think, are significant and can impact, you know, pro play. So there's that.